Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Avocados, and I'm joined today with Momo and Birdman. And what we're going to be doing today is just talking through our thoughts on the kickoff classic, making a tier list for all the CDL 2020 teams, and then going through our predictions for the series.
Get it.
All
Let's
right.
go.
So, guys, let's start with the predictions and stuff like that, right? Or not predictions. Recap. So Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, 3 Saturdays ago. When was the fucking kickoff?
Yeah, I think 23rd
Last
January.
January 23rd. That's ages
Yeah, week and a half.
ages ago, dude. Crazy.
facts.
All right, so first match, New York versus Dallas. What are y'all's thoughts?
Who's going first?
I mean, either of you can just chime in.
Alright, I'll go first. I'm not surprised at all. That's exactly what I predicted because New York had a new player since Zuma retired. So yeah, I expected that.
Yeah, it's really hard to judge that match. I mean, when New York had 3 days of practice with Diamondcon in the lineup, and they still don't have Hydra. Hydra's still got visa issues, so I mean that was just a really tough situation for New York to be in.
Yeah. What do you think about like individual performances? Like, you think Diamond is like anything about his like performance stat to y'all? Just because he's like, I know he's a rookie, um, but I didn't think
Uh,
his performance was like anything like superstar like, but I mean he did his job.
yeah, I thought he was good, just not as good as Fire or Neptune. Those guys were the real
Yeah, I
highlights
mean
of the weekend.
he's an AR. He'll eventually pick up his footing. It's kind of hard not to, he's eventually going to start dropping 1.1s as an AR. I was really disappointed in Clay's performance. I
Clay,
thought,
what were his
yeah,
stats that series? I actually can't find the like individual statistics.
I don't remember, but I know he did. He went like double or triple neg in the first hard point, and like that's just not. If Clay goes double or triple neg, New York doesn't stand any chance. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
he was.
who's in their lineup.
Well, that first hard point, like Shotzi also dropped like what 35 or something.
I don't remember. It
He
was
was
2
going
weeks
off the
ago.
whole time. He's so good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Shotzi's just a beast.
definitely like
Might have
a
another MVP here.
yeah, definitely a candidate for MVP. Someone we're keeping an eye on.
But I think if Clay bounces back, New York's not going to be a pushover. There will be a good middle of the pack team
Yeah,
until
I
Yeah,
they
think
figure out their
eventually.
roster situations.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can agree with that. All right, so the next match was Seattle versus LAG. So that was 3-2. LAG won that. So
Uh,
LAG took the hard both hard points. Seattle took the first search and the control, and then LAG won Garrison S&D. I personally like I call me a hater, but I just never thought the Seattle like team would like win a chip. Just I don't really. I think there's a lot of chemistry issues here. It's like the same thing we saw with like Rise Nation. Like, yeah, they win 3 tournaments or whatever, and then they kind of just fall apart. Uh,
yeah.
and they don't have Slasher, and they don't have like, I don't know. Like, yeah, Looney's a good IGL and all, but like Slasher's like one of, if not the smartest player in the game. So
Agreed.
I think Seattle's problem is they don't have a second Slayer. I mean, Gunless can be the second Slayer, but we haven't really seen him be like a dominant Slayer since World War II.
mhm.
And if Octane's the only person dropping a 1.1 or higher, like that team's just gonna get smoked. They just don't have enough slaying power right now.
Yeah, I agree. They need a SMG player.
Like having
Put up
Pristini
numbers.
and Looney on the same team doesn't make any sense because they play the exact same role as being the first guy into the being the entry guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that, and I think Momo. I think when we were talking like a while ago, and you said like you need to. I don't know if it was you who said this, but like you need to have one SMG Slayer because like all your ARs are gonna put up pretty similar stats at the end of the day, but like it's your SMGs who actually decide if your team is good or not. And I think that's kind of the case with this team. Both Pristini and Looney are just like inconsistent. Like they're dirty work players. Like I kind of hate to say it, but like they really are. They're not like
Yeah.
players. And I don't know. Just I think going even like beyond like role issues and stuff like that. I don't think like Octane and Gunless on the same team like will ever work. Like that, there's too much like egos.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna be the problem, but they just don't have that SMG player. You just need that one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll
AR
talk about
players
like
don't cut it.
Chicago because I think like Chicago and Dallas definitely have like the recipes to success this season. We'll talk a little bit more
Yeah,
about them later, but I think like what the reason Chicago is so scary is because they have three SMG players who can all go off pretty much, and then you have Formo
yeah.
who's like having one of the best games of his career. We'll touch more upon that in a bit.
ARs in this game don't have a lot of recoil and they're pretty easy to shoot. So it's actually like that's why Dallas is gonna be so good because they have good SMG players. Like even a mid-tier AR can like drop pretty high numbers in this game. I feel like
Mm.
so Crim would be like really good.
I mean, Krim's not even like mid tier. Like he just knows how to win. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So the next match was um Florida versus Atlanta. This is the end of Saturday, and I think like Florida kind of shocked everyone with the 3-2.
Yeah, actually I don't know. Like I think everyone knew that if Florida would win, it would be 3-2, but nobody
Yeah.
expected them to win.
I was
But
surprised at how good they were in respawns off the start, with Neptune only being in for like what, a week.
yeah, I think it was a
I think that's
Like I
like
mean,
I
they
actually
look really good in the respawns.
I actually thought the opposite, because like when we see Halo players transition, and like I can speak on this personally, when we see Halo players transition to Call of Duty, like it's always the search that they struggle in, right? Like you see that
Yeah.
with like Formal, Frosty, like just name like Enable, like just name like a transition player, and like
yeah.
you see that struggle with search. But Florida actually took both searches. They took Garrison 6-5 and then Checkmate 6-3, um, which that was actually really interesting to me, like that. I think like
But I mean, it
after
wasn't.
or go for it.
But I mean, it wasn't like Florida got absolutely smoked in a respawn. I mean, the control was what 3-2, and they won the second hard point. And I think the first hard point was. I think didn't Florida like completely choke the first hard point?
Yeah, I think
I, yeah, they were. I think they were ahead like 50 points plus, and then FaZe chained like two back-to-back kills and got a lot of points.
this
Which
is
and
yeah.
against a team like FaZe too, which you expect to be so respawn dominant with the Slayers on their team, like that's extremely impressive for Neptune only being in the lineup for a week.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
And even the control was like I think it was like Florida and Atlanta like won their offensive rounds to like start, and then like it was like the last round I remember being like really close. It was like a 1v1, like Slacked versus Celium or something like that, and like obviously
everyone. Yeah, everyone was winning their defensive rounds, and then Florida, and then Atlanta came in and won an attacking round.
you think that's like something maybe other teams take note of, like that they are able to win, like they're doing something right and like winning those offensive rounds.
Yeah, I think all the teams know that like offense is heavily at like a disadvantage on Garrison. So if you win one of those, then you're pretty much golden.
Yeah. I think the speaking on that match more specifically though, I think the bigger glaring issue is that FaZe looked like they had a lot of problems that they had from the end of Modern Warfare, even with Alec in the lineup. Like they looked late on rotations to their hardpoints. They would be dominating in the slaying categories on hardpoint and barely winning maps. And I think if you're a FaZe fan, that's a scary thought to think about, that the problems they had at the end of last year are carrying over to this game.
It's actually really interesting though, because like you'd think that like with a coach like Crowder, like those issues get fixed like between seasons.
Yeah, you'd think so.
I don't know. Look, what are so is that just like them not listening to him, or like what do y'all think?
I
I
don't know
think
what the problem is, to be honest.
I guess you could say an experienced leader in game. Yeah, Crowder's experienced, but he's not in game. I think that could be one thing you could point to. But other than that, I don't see many flaws in their roster.
Oh yeah, the roster on paper is like probably the best roster in the league. But when you're outslaying teams by like 20 to 30 in hardpoint, but only winning by 20 to 10 points, like that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like the end of the dynasty OPTIC, like where like they just didn't play the game right. Like they're just slow slay heavy that they just bullied teams. That's how they won. But like fundamentally they never like played the game properly, you know?
I'm pretty sure if you asked them, they would say that was the case the whole time the roster was a thing.
I
They
mean,
just won because their skill was so high.
yeah. All right.
Grim definitely would agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, moving on. Um so this is like the start of Sunday, Paris versus London. Paris pulls out the 3-2. Um this is a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of always is. Who's on Paris? That's like Aqua, Fire.
Classic and scraps.
Yeah, Classic Scraps. London is just Alex,
Shawnee Dillon
Johnny
and
Dillon,
right
Zero.
now Parasite.
Oh,
Right
okay.
now,
Yeah.
Parasite, but yeah, for that weekend it was 0.
Mm. And we'll talk a little bit more about the role switch for London in a bit. But like, what are y'all's takeaways like from the 3-2? Like,
That's exactly what I expected from that match because 0 was in London, so I knew Paris would win it.
Yeah.
And London looked really good in scrims, so I knew they'd lose, but since they looked good in scrims, I knew it'd be close. So I predicted a 3-2, and that's exactly what happened.
Paris took both hard points. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. Like other than that, I don't know. They like
which makes sense.
yeah they lost
Hard
0-3 in the
point is like
control.
yeah, yeah. Respawns, it makes sense because playing heavy, so internet really helped Paris there.
Yeah.
I think Paris is going to surprise a lot of teams this year, though. Like
I agree.
with how late their roster announcement was, but like if if all 4 players actually, if we get a decent year out of Classic and Aqua, like that team can really. I don't think they'll like win an event or anything, but you know they could be a top 5, top 4 team.
Classic had a really good
making a
year.
couple upsets.
Classic had a really good year last year. Like
Yeah.
he was like making plays in search. Like he was a really good search player. On Toronto. Like I think he was like their I don't want to say star, but like he was definitely like their key player for search.
Cammy, he was insane with the sniper in search for Toronto.
Yeah. But then like I'm just thinking of what was it, Ramaza last year where Classic just goes like 10-0 at the start.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Like definitely like a question mark on Paris. Um I don't know.
I've been impressed by London lately in scrims with Parasite. They look pretty good.
Was
Parasite's gonna be
Zero
real good.
was Zero playing the main AR or that was Shawnee, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Shawnee was.
what is Haggy doing now? Like how does he fit on this team?
I think he's running the
Uh,
flex.
I mean, this game is like 2 ARs, so yeah, I think
Yeah, I think he's
that's
kind of. I think he's kind of running the quote unquote dashy role where
yeah.
he's gonna have an AR on most maps, but if there's a map that needs 3 subs like Crossroads or something, he'll probably run a sub.
Do you think if Zero's visa issues or whatever get resolved, they put him back onto the team and get rid of Haggy, or do you
For
not see that
sure.
happening?
Yeah,
Well,
I
I don't
think
know.
for
It
sure.
depends. If the vibes are fine with everything, comes down to vibes with Haggy. If Haggy vibes are good and he's putting up good numbers, it's gonna be kind of hard
See,
to
I think
justify taking him out of the lineup.
um see those London guys, I think that's like a friendship league team, I feel like, since they kicked off Scraps and Wiskin. That's why I feel like Parasite isn't gonna make such a huge difference that like they go to like a top 4 team. So I feel like if Zero could move to NA, then I think they would.
Okay.
Unless they're doing insane and being top 4, which I don't think is gonna happen. But
Yeah.
they'll be good.
That's a good point though. Now that I think about it, London definitely is like a friendship league team. Like you kick out
Yeah, I feel like
Wuskins,
that.
who I think he had like a 1.3 overall last season or
Yeah.
something like that, 1.26.
Oh, he was a top 3 AR last year.
Yeah, definitely one of the better players in MW. and he's not even on a team anymore. So yeah, like, I don't know.
Wild.
Makes no sense.
If anything, I would have like gotten rid of Shawnee for Weskins, but you know.
Yeah, but Shawnee, I'm pretty sure, is the one who like banded up with Dylan and Alex.
Oh, so just tier 3 looking for a fourth. So
And
Yeah,
isn't Shawnee like really close to the organization itself, like the owners of the org?
yeah, I
Like,
think
don't
he
they have a lot of
became
history?
like that once. I don't know if it was him that started the rumors of Woskin and Scraps playing Warzone all day and not taking competitive as serious. I don't know if it was him that started the rumors or what. Yeah, or maybe it was Assault. I don't know. I don't remember.
assault.
Yeah, because Assault had a fight with Woskin on Twitter about it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
speaking
this
of
was months
assault,
ago though.
um,
Is that match next?
yeah, I think so. Wait, no,
No, we already
assault.
did
Assault.
LAG.
Yeah, we already did that.
Oh
Assault
yeah,
was
we already
on
did that
LA.
one.
But keeping with the theme of purple teams, Rocker versus Ultra. Um, Rocker win 3-2. They take both searches, control. Toronto take both hard points.
Yeah, I
This
expected that
meta's
one too.
this meta's really blessed Minnesota. Like when this roster formed, if it was a sub dominated meta right now, Minnesota would have been kind of screwed because they've got a bunch of ARs on that team between major accuracy and even
Attach is more of like a slower
yeah,
flex
attaches
player.
used to run it before. But with it being a 2 AR meta right now, it really helped them, and they look really good right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think. I mean, Toronto also looked kind of scary in the hard point because who's it like Bance and Cameo are just kind of frying everything. I
Oh
think
man,
like I honestly think I don't know like I expected a little bit more out of methods or like
yeah, same.
I've been expecting a little bit more out of methods for like the past 2 years. Methods, I know you follow me on Twitter. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. I fucking love you, dude. But my unfiltered opinion, I honestly expected a little bit more out of him. Like I think he like the past couple years he's been like averaging like a point 0.9, 0.85 as an AR, and those numbers need to be a little bit higher.
He's just like I think he reminds me of Octane. It's like an Octane 2.0.
Yeah,
Their
but
And him
rosters,
and
their roster builds aren't like the best, but they do drop good stats. I don't know.
that was
I think
only
if you
I
no
don't
go
even
ahead.
know if it was like good stats though, cause like that was only World War II where he like had the best like hardpoint KD, best overall KD, and best S&D KD in the entire game. And then like you go to Black Ops 4 right after that, he's on what like UIU, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he kind of
That
got
team
screwed over by
that
rosters
team
in
wasn't really
BO4.
that great. Um, I mean, it's not really his fault because they had like 4 ARs, like one sub or some shit like
yeah.
that. So it wasn't really good. But then um you move to MW and like even then I don't think
I think he
like
was pretty
He
damn
he
good for
started coming
MW.
on towards the end of the year.
yeah, definitely towards the end of the year. But I think honestly like you're like the mainstay like the face of the franchise or whatever, right? So I kind of expect a little bit more.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think overall Toronto solid hardpoint team.
I think they'll
If
be a solid
Toronto,
team overall in the
yeah, if Toronto gets performances out of Bance like they did in the kickoff, like consistently, then Toronto will be really good. But if Bance becomes back to that like inconsistent player where he's either dropping a 1.0 or a point 0.8, it, you just don't know what Toronto's really going to do.
These
Yeah.
are both teams that have potential, and in my opinion, these teams are gonna look really scary by the end of the year because I know for a fact that these teams are gonna get frustrated with their placings during the year and they're gonna make changes. And once they do make those changes, I think they're gonna be really good.
Yeah. I think apathy is apathy on no, that's LAG,
Gorillas,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
That's LG.
Okay. Apathy was frying, kind of backtracking a bit, but he was playing. He was having a really good like, series.
yeah.
But yeah, last but not least, um, y'all's favorite, the Thieves versus OPTIC.
Nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Honestly,
embarrassing.
yeah. You get 150 pointed on Garrison. Um, like the only player who goes positive, I think, on Thieves that map was Kenny, and it wasn't even by much. It was like 1 point. Like he went even basically.
The thing is, the funny thing about that Garrison is it should have been a lot worse. Like Scump was talking about it in his post game vlog that like they were all frying so hard that they got a little too kill horror heavy and they accidentally foot spawns for a hill that
I
kind of
remember I
cost them
remember
all.
which hill that was, and I think that was um Momo's least favorite player, TJ Haley, who got the
Nah.
flip. No, I'm pretty sure it was TJ and Slasher who like it was like a split spawn situation. I might be wrong, but I remember them like spawning out for next. But then TJ just got smoked, and then like Optic broke it.
Yeah, that series was. Sheesh.
Sheesh. Yeah, and then you get 3-0'd in the control. Like that second round, like you shouldn't be losing that. Like you have like a what 4 to 7 life advantage, and then
Oh yeah, then they just let Dashy cap it.
yeah, that shouldn't be happening. So I know we've said previously like Thieves is like a top 5, top 6 team in the game. Maybe like I have my reservations about that, but Optic look really good. They look really good.
Yeah, Optic looked really good. Tied with Dallas for the best team in the game right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking
I
of
love.
comparing teams, so we have our power rankings with a bunch of random ads because I couldn't really. Oh, there's fucking presentation mode. Oh, let's do that. There we go. There we go. Yes. All right. Um, so we're just gonna go. I just have like the list of teams, and we're just gonna like go team by team, and we're gonna put them in either S, A, B, C, or F. So S is like they're looking like the best team in the game. A tier, solid, top 4. B, definitely some potential. C, not really looking too good. F is the season's kind of chalked. So we're gonna start with FaZe. What do y'all think?
Probably A tier for now.
All right.
Because I don't think they're at the level of Chicago or Dallas.
I think
I agree.
I think I agree with that. Like, I think I know we were talking about it. Like, but
Actually,
like
I want to move them up to S tier. I think it's too early, and they might have not been taking that match as seriously. Because if I'm looking at those players like a BZ, actually not a BZ, players like Simp and Cell, I feel like Simp and Cell are players that wouldn't take like a pre-season match too seriously. A BZ I know always goes hard, and our cities hates losing. But yeah, I feel like Cell is one of those people that's like not at his best in like show matches and stuff.
but you think that
I would still put them in S.
you think that kind of bites them in the butt though? Like they don't perform well in like the 3 like weekends leading up to the major, and then like yeah they show up for major, but they get like a tough bracket, and that kind of screws them over.
No, because their phases pool. Oh, it's the same as us,
They're in
and
the
it's
pool of
very
cats. Yeah,
hard.
they're in the pool of
Yeah,
cats.
yeah, no, but those are still league matches, so I think they're gonna go hard in those. I was just talking about like this weekend that didn't matter.
Yeah. I
Otherwise,
actually
Otherwise, I
though,
think I
bro,
see them going hard.
I actually agree with Bird here though. I think they're at the moment because obviously these rankings can change. I think
Yeah.
they're more of an A tier team, and the reason is just because like we touched upon it like a little bit, but there's just like problems with the way they play the game, like getting
Yeah.
too slay heavy, not rotating fast enough, just like small fundamental things like that. I think that are like the difference between an S tier and an A tier team. And I think
Yeah.
like if those problems aren't addressed, like you're gonna see the same thing from FaZe that you did like last season. Yeah, they won like 2 home series or whatever. They look really good, but that's just the slaying. And then once they start getting exposed by like a team that can slay just as hard, they just don't look as good. So I'm gonna put them in A tier for now.
Do you guys remember if FaZe was playing that match from the FaZe headquarters or
It
the
was the FaZe house. I remember.
FaZe house,
Yeah. Yeah.
or were they at their own houses?
They were they were
Yeah,
they were in the
they were
same
all
room.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that like
Yeah, then I could agree with A tier.
okay? Yeah, I mean, internet is kind of everything for online COD. It is what it is. All right, so next, we have Dallas, and with no bias at all, I'm gonna put them in the S tier. Like,
No brainer. S
Yeah.
tier.
Um,
They're S tier.
Best control team in the game right now.
yeah, like
Yeah,
definitely.
they're gonna be nasty as Surge with Krim and Illy on that team
Yeah.
Mhm.
and Hook.
Yeah, Hook. I remember like y'all were saying like Hook was looking like the best player in the game like the first 2 weeks, but now it seems like Shotzi and Illy are looking really really good. And then we saw like on, yeah, it was against New York or whatever, but like Krim was kind of frying in the control. So like if they all like keep slaying, I honestly think there's like only maybe Optic can like beat them. Um, and like also could be just bias on my part because I'm not really an Optic fan.
I love that team. I think their 3 SMGs are so good, and then Illy can pull out an AR too, and so can Hook.
Yeah.
I
love that
honestly,
team.
this is
Really?
looking very far into the future, but I honestly think this team, like Dallas, I honestly can't see them making a change to that SMG core. Like if they start losing, I see them changing Krim for like another AR player.
I don't think Krim's droppable on that team because of who he is.
You think so? So
Yeah.
if they had to
I
make a
think if anybody
change,
gets dropped, it's Illy.
I'd
I mean,
say
Hook's been with MV for so long. Haster's not going to drop him, and then
Yeah.
Shotzi's
I
a
actually
top
I
3 player in
mean
the
I
game.
honestly think Hook would be like I guess it does depend on performance, but like I'd agree with either Hook or Illy. Shotzi's stock is just way too high at the moment
And
right
But I
Krim
mean,
now.
loves him.
Hook's been with Envy since Halo. Like, you really think Haster's going to drop him now?
Yeah, but they
Yeah, I don't-
also like if you remember in Black Ops 4 they made the it wasn't like a drop, but they loaned him right to Splice.
Yeah, well, that was because Envy was just absolute dog crap in Black Ops 4.
Yeah, but who did they replace him with? Like silly like Assault Aches or some shit like that? I don't even know. Like not
I don't even
really.
remember that squad anymore.
No, I mean yeah, because they weren't memorable. They were just that bad.
Well, didn't they miss out on the league?
No, they didn't miss out on the league. They just were getting stomped in the league. They had like a free pass to the league because they won champs or something like that.
Oh, yeah, because they bought the champs team. It was Hook, and it was the World War II champs, so Aches, Assault, Silly, and Accuracy.
Oh, okay, I thought we were talking
No,
about
it wasn't. It wasn't accuracy. It was Aches, Assault,
Apathy,
Silly, and
Illy.
App.
Oh, yeah, Apathy. Wow, that team's... How did that team win champs?
They got the blessed bracket that we choked.
Facts.
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
facts.
yeah, I mean, yeah, Optic was kind of ass at World War II. I'll be straight
Oh
up.
no, they were good. They just choked horribly at champs. They were like in the league. They were #1 in their group.
No, they were number two.
they were
I remember.
smoking
I remember
teams.
someone was above them. It was either TK or like maybe Rise. But I know they beat Rise in the head to head because I remember watching that match live, and I remember
No,
Scump
I
getting
think
really
there
hyped.
was. I think there was
Wait, are
two
we talking
groups.
about champs?
World War II
No, we're
champs.
talking about World War II league, like the league
Oh,
matches. I think Rise and TK were in the
I
same
don't remember
group,
that old.
and then Optic was #1 in the other one. I don't know if I'm remembering that wrong, but
I don't remember. That was
far.
too long ago. I remember like
I
Echo.
keep
That was like
World
when
War II
like
out of my memory.
that was like when Echo Fox was like still in the league or whatever.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
That org doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't
Isn't
exist. It
Action
doesn't
like
exist
the GM
anymore.
of it?
Like that org, it just it's over. Like because Justin Wong was signed
Oh.
for it, he left to be like an independent dude. They were like very big in Gears of War, and then they left that too. I think it's because the owner like Loki spent
What's
too much.
Fox doing now?
Yeah, I think he Loki spent too much money. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember exactly what happened, but that they just aren't a team anymore. Like that org just doesn't exist. The same thing with like Ghost Gaming. Like they used to be in the scene. Like
Yeah.
they only like do Fortnite content now or something like that. Like orgs are scaling down. All right, next we have Florida Mutineers.
Probably
I
A
put
tier.
them in A tier, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with A tier. I think Skies had a really good series against Atlanta, so like that's always good to see. Awakening was making plays. Neptune was, if I'm being honest, he's the next big thing. Like he's gonna win Rookie of the Year. Um, just like a crazy talent overall, and I think like Slack gives you a little bit of IGL, which is nice. Um, and then he does the dirty work so that like you have people like Neptune, and Awakening to just slay out. Yeah,
I like Neptune, but I think Fire might edge him out for Rookie of the Year this year. Fire is insane.
you think so? I think
Yeah.
I think there's so much of rookie. It's kind of the same in the NBA. Like so much of Rookie of the Year depends on how well your team actually does. Um, so that like if let's say Paris tanks, or not tanks, but like let's say Florida like gets like, if
A
Florida
win
if
or two.
Florida gets like 3 wins or 2 wins, and Paris gets like one, like you're obviously associating like Neptune being on that team to like having higher success, and so
Two, yeah.
I think that's why they're gonna, and like if we're being honest, Paris is definitely like a middle of the pack team, and we'll get to them, but that's just my thoughts on why he's gonna win, Roy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, I think we can all agree A tier. All right, what about
Yeah.
London Royal Ravens? I don't know why their logo isn't showing up. It just shows up as a red dot for some reason. But
Oh man, this is a hard one.
Yeah, I think as it stands, probably B or C,
That's
maybe
what
even
I'm
C.
thinking too.
yeah, it's definitely B or C, but I don't know. I don't know which one. Like, do you put them in B or do you put them in C?
I think there's too many teams with potential in this league right now. Like LA Gorillas, if LA Gorillas, Thieves, Rocker, New York, Paris, and even Ultra. I think all these teams can make like one change in the middle of the year and be so much better. So I think I'm actually gonna go with C
Yeah, I
at
have them in
London.
C tier
So
on my board.
you don't think there's a single change that London can make that will like kind of
I
get them
think
into that top
Tony.
four conversation?
I think they'd need a couple.
Think they need a couple.
I mean, if Alex goes back to how he looked at the beginning of MW on Minnesota, then you don't really have to worry about him. But it really comes down to just how consistent is Shawnee going to be.
I think the league like is so stacked now with good players, and since it's 4v4 now, all these like NA players are so tight and they're so good that I think they're just gonna leave these London guys behind unless they get like Scraps and Wiskin back
I
or
mean, they're
something.
not getting Scraps back. He's on Paris. If anything,
Yeah,
if
Yeah.
anything, Paris makes a change and gets Wuskins, and then like what happens there? That team just becomes better, you know.
yeah, that team doesn't seem to have well, they have a leader now with Parasite, but I don't know how long that's gonna last. But they don't really have like an AR stat dropper that's gonna like
Now that I think about
win
it,
out.
just relatively, they're like the F tier team.
I don't think they'd be that
Actually,
bad.
no.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
Okay, yeah. I think
'Cause they do have
Seattle
Maggie.
is the F tier team, but we'll get there.
I've got Seattle and LAG enough.
We'll get there. So yeah, London and C. Oh, there the emblem showed up just because it was like black. It
For
was
me, it
black,
doesn't
black.
show an F tier. For me, it's S, A, B, C, and unknown.
Oh, I added an F tier. I changed unknown to F.
Uh,
Okay, so Bird, I know you said gorillas in F tier. So now we're at gorillas. So I want you to like, what's your case? I want to hear this.
Well, all four of them were playing out of Los Angeles. Like that's just with an
yeah.
online league right now, and most of the servers being really central located or a little bit eastern located. I think there's a Vegas server, but like if you're playing against LA, you're just gonna veto the Vegas server, and then you force them to just play on a bad connection the whole match. And you know, being that far into a connection disadvantage, and on paper, it's not a very great roster. I mean, Apathy looked really good in the kickoff classic, but I mean,
They still lost.
Assault,
They still lost
yeah,
to
Assault,
Seattle.
Yeah, and Seattle's probably the worst team in the league right now. And with Vivid hasn't really splashed since he came into the league, and silly and assault or silly and assault. So I don't expect anything out of this team this season.
I mean, I don't really expect anything either, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just like swayed so much by Apathy's performance that I want to put them in C tier. But maybe you're right.
I agree with you. I think I would put them in C tier. Bird made a good point about Los Angeles, like all four of them playing from there. But I don't know. I feel like this is another team that's like I don't want to put them in F tier too fast because I feel like they'll have a couple bad events and then they'll make a team change and then I feel like they'll be really good because I'm a huge
But
Apathy and Assault fan.
think about LA Thieves from last year, aka OGLA. All five of them were playing out of LA, and they just looked awful.
Yeah, but
But
Gorillas
then
didn't look too bad.
it's not even just the online thing
They were
for
playing
LA
Seattle.
Optic though. Like LA Optic also had Dashi who just didn't want to be there. TJ Halley who like let's face it, he's kind of like the burger of the COD scene. In the words of Momo, who really hates I don't know why, but you just hate TJ Haley.
I don't hate him. I just think
He
he's
holds a grudge
overrated.
against them because of BO4 champs.
Yeah, BO4 champs, and I don't know. I feel like he's a little bit overrated.
Mm.
I don't
But
know.
when
I
he's
think
on, he's on.
That's
Just
true.
need him
I
to
just
be on a lot more than he is.
Yeah.
yeah, but personally, I just think losing 3-2 to Seattle in the kickoff and then just playing from LA the whole season is just. I think it's hard not to put him in the F tier.
But I mean, the pieces are there. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's what.
Like
Yeah, I
if you
agree.
take out Vivid and get anyone else who is like a better sub, like that team becomes pretty nasty. Like they become like
Yeah,
but
like, at
as
least
it
a
is on
decent
paper,
middle of
though,
the pack.
as it is on paper, though, I just don't think this roster itself is going to do anything.
Mm.
like I saw Gorillas doing really good against Optic 2 in scrims the other day, so that's another thing that gives me kind of hope for this team.
Okay,
So
so
yeah,
I think with majority rule, we have 2 C's and 1 F. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in C tier
yeah.
for now. All right, next up the other LA team. We got LA Thieves, who kind of got smoked during the kickoff weekend, but I still think they're a B tier team. Like they have
Yeah, I got
some
B.
there's some issues, but like
Okay, I was confused between A and B. I kind of wanted to put them in A, but you guys both already said B, so I guess we're gonna.
what's your reasoning for A tier? I don't think they're like if you look at like the teams in A, right? Like FaZe and Mutineers. I mean,
Yeah,
I'd say FaZe is just the better team right now at the moment, just because like this like Florida beating them might have been an outlier. Even though like I'm a huge Florida fan, but even let's say Mutineers is the worst team in the A tier like section. I don't see LA Thieves like I see Florida low key like 3-0ing or 3-1ing LA, and
I
I
think
don't
if
know.
LA Thieves hadn't gotten skitty ski pop popped in the kickoff classic as bad as they did, you you can make a really strong case for them being A tier. But I mean, they just did not look good at all
I think
against
if they win like
Chicago.
one or like if they maybe make 2 maps close, then they
Yeah, if they
go
win
to
the
A
surge
tier.
and don't get 3-0'd in the control, then they're probably A tier.
Yeah, like a
see,
three.
for me, the reason why I feel like I want to put LA Thieves in A tier is because of Slasher. I think this team, obviously, they struggled versus Optic because their Optic has so much talent and they look like the top two team in the game. I feel like LA Thieves are that team that's like gonna have a hard time against play heavy teams. But then when you put up Slasher against like these mid tier teams like Rocker, New York, and Paris, and all these guys, I feel like they'll destroy them.
This team's going to be really good by the end of the year, but
Yeah,
I just as it stands, I don't think they're better than Atlanta or even at the same level to be able to put them in the same
yeah,
tier.
I think they'll be amazing after like a month.
yeah. After a month, but this is right now. Like
After a
they
month.
look like
Yeah.
dog shit
Yeah.
right now. um, I'll go ahead and put them in B tier because of majority rule again. But I'll put them
Yeah.
first in B tier because I think they're by far the best B tier. Or like when we
Yeah.
finish like everything, I think they'll be by far the best B tier team.
Wait, so who do you guys have above in tier A, FaZe or Mutineers?
I have FaZe above Mutineers. FaZe comes
I
before.
have FaZe above Mutineers. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, honestly. Even though Mutineers won, I still.
It's hard because yeah, it's like it's a new team. So like yeah, you keep the core of Skies and Wake, and you add like two pretty solid players to that. But like we don't know if that's like an outlier or if that's just like how Florida really is. Like I'm a huge Florida fan, but like I like just being honest, like I'm not really sure what to expect yet. And hopefully like they'll give us that like consistency this next weekend or this coming weekend. I think they play against like LA Thieves and like some other people. I think they also match Optic as well, but I'm not sure. Um but yeah, that's my reasoning for putting FaZe above me.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. Next up we got Minnesota Rocker.
I have them in A tier right now.
You have them in A.
Ooh.
I actually have
Yeah.
them in B.
As it stands, Minnesota looks like a top 4 team, top 4, top 5 team.
They're
With the
they're not
way
no they're not a top 4 team. They're not a top 4 team. I can give you the top 4 right now. It's Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, and Florida. Like I need to
It's
see
not.
I need
It's
to
not
see
a bad
them.
take though. Like I could kind of
Minnesota
agree
looks
with it.
really good in scrims.
I can I see I haven't been watching scrim so I couldn't tell you, but I think until they match up against like LA, I don't know how good they are. Like really.
And that's the first game of the kickoff.
First game of the weekend.
Like the first game of the weekend. Rocker versus Thieves is gonna be a good one. But again, I feel like with the way these teams are, yes, Thieves got destroyed by Optic, but when you put up, I respect accuracy, but when you put him up against Slasher and like, I don't know, I feel like LA Thieves is just gonna know how to play the game better.
I think Minnesota's gonna win that matchup.
You think so? I think the East figure their
Yeah.
shit out. Like
I think Minnesota wins 3-1.
with Slasher on that team, there's no way that they don't improve. Like something will change. Like they will get better. Like that's just the Slasher method.
Oh yeah, I think they're gonna
And
get
you
better,
know,
but I still think as it stands, Minnesota's the better team right now.
I don't
Um,
know. I would still put them below Thieves.
I would also put them below Thieves, but I think they're definitely like a B tier team for sure.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in Slasher.
Yeah, you fucking love him, dude.
And Texas
you
Kenny,
live
bro.
for 'em.
Come on, they're all in Texas. Texas Kenny.
Kenny was. I think Kenny
Yeah,
was
they're
the
all in
like,
Texas and they still got smoked.
Kenny was the only
Oh
good
yeah, but
player.
that's Optic.
Kenny was the only good player. Like he put up the only like decent stats against
Oh, he's
Optic.
so
I'll
good.
be honest.
MW was a fluke year because of being in Los Angeles. Now he's gonna do amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd put. And again, this is another like majority rule. Like we have our differences, but I
Yeah.
think we have 2 B tier votes, so I'd put Rocker in B right now. All right, next up, New York Subliners. So I'll be honest, this is another B tier team. I think once
Yeah.
they like once Hydra like figures out his issues, once they like figure out um like the role situation with Diamond or whatever, I think they'll start getting a lot better. I think the only issue that I saw with the launch weekend is just how bad Clayster was playing. Like you can't really have that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really comes down how good is ASIM and Mac gonna be as a sub duo.
Mhm.
Like, because Mac ran the flex for New York last year when he came into the league, and Mac's talented enough to run the sub, but can he pick up as much sling as Zuma's really gonna leave behind?
I think he
Because
can.
I think so. I'll be honest. I think Zuma wasn't really like at least last year and the year before. So Black Ops 4 and MW. I don't think he really was that much of a slayer. I think he was like he hit the flanks and he'd get like impact kills, that would obviously like change the course of game.
yeah, but I don't think 5v5 really played well for Zuma because of the way he played. Like
Yeah.
there was a lot more voices that could because Zuma really played like a sneaky slayer role. Like he really had good positioning, but it was hard to have better positioning in 5v5 because there was an extra person calling out people on the map.
Yeah, in 4v4, Zuma is like Scump. They play their lives so well that in 4v4,
Yeah.
Scump and Zuma are just like heavy slayers. But I have faith in Mac. I'm actually a huge Mac fan. I think he's amazing at
Mhm.
SMG and Respawn. I think he'll do really well with an SMG. I like
Yeah,
to see
Mac's incredible.
potential. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I just think the sub sling from moving from being able to have Zuma as your second sub behind ASIM because ASIM was scrimming for them for a while to Mac just kind of falls off a little bit. And I really don't know what to get out of it because Diamond Con used to be main AR for the Challengers team that he was on, and I just don't know how well he transitions to a flex as well.
Yeah, I think what that team just needs is a solid SMG Slayer. Like we said it before, like you
I
need to
think they have
have.
a solid SMG player in Mac. I just
Yeah, but then you need another one, right? Like
uh,
I don't know. If you want to be like a top tier team, like look at all the top
But see,
teams.
I
They have
would be
three
okay.
SMGs who
I
are.
actually think they need an AR slayer.
You think
I mean,
so?
they got Clay and Diamond Con.
If Diamond isn't consistent enough, because I fear he might not be, then I don't know.
This is an
'Cause
interesting take. I kind of literally just thought of this. What if Waskin went to New York to be their main AR?
no, Clayster needs
What
to
do you
be
do with
main
Clay?
AR. Clayster needs to be main AR. I don't like Clayster didn't do well with an AR. I definitely don't think he would do good as a flex. Not at all, honestly.
When was the last time Clay ran a flex? On E United?
BO4.
Yeah, United.
Yeah.
Oh, he's that Maddox, ICR.
That went actually pretty well for them, but that wasn't because of Clayster. It was because our cities within ICR was incredible.
And you have
And
Simp and
towards the end of the year, you
Abizi.
had Simp, who at the time was having like the greatest rookie season ever. So
Yeah, New York is a bottom tier B tier team.
Yeah, I'd
Mid
agree with that.
yeah,
bottom team in the B.
Okay,
right
and
now there's just so much unknown with New York.
yeah. I think they'll get better
Only
though.
time.
They'll get
Yeah.
better.
Yep.
All right, now we come to your favorite Optic Gaming.
Top 2 team, gotta put him.
Yeah, they're the best hardpoint team right now,
Yep.
and I'd say they're the second best control team behind Empire. And, you know, Empire's probably the only team that's gonna consistently take control off of them. And
Atlanta, I think they're tied with Atlanta in the control department. That's a close one.
What about search? I actually think Dallas has the edge in search in this case.
I don't know, cause Dashy and Envoy.
yeah,
That is true.
Nah.
That is true.
I think as the year goes on, Chicago's gonna be filthy at search.
Well, I
And
mean, yeah,
Scump's become a really good search player too over the years. I mean,
yeah. I remember
the
when
whole
he was
the whole
playing.
notion that Scump's not good at search has really you can't really say that anymore.
Yeah,
'Cause I
you
don't think
can't. He's definitely
I
gotten
don't think
better.
he's dropped a bad event in search in like years now.
Yeah, I remember in MW he was like getting like 4 pieces like in search on like Ramaza, like just playing really well. I remember like
ODL was just insane.
I remember when Florida and Chicago were playing. I don't remember when this was, but I know Florida won it. But like it was the game 5, like Ramaza, I think, and then like
That's why I'm so interested in an Optic Dallas match, cause like I'm already given like the hard point a split, an S&D a split, and then it comes down to control. So I don't know. I feel like Empire might be better, but in S&D it's too close to call.
Mhm.
Too close.
But, yeah, Optic is definitely an S tier team. Like, if you don't think that
Gotta
you're
be.
kind of delusional at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
In any COD, you just have to put the one into.
yeah, because at the end of the day, like it comes down to like vetoes, how like the internet is doing. But I mean, both those teams are like all Texas, so I guess that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Um,
And Dashy looks like the best player in the game.
yeah,
along with Shotzi.
I mean, I think I honestly think Shotzi low-key could win MVP this year.
I think
Again.
the huge thing though is that with they going back to 44, Scump and Formal really look like the old Scump and Formal. Like
Yeah, that's true.
Scump is piecing in scrims,
Yeah.
and you hadn't seen that really since IW because you know he had horrible practice schedules in World War II, but Scump and Formal really look like the old T2P duo that they used to be. Now that
Yeah,
it's back to 4v4.
and then you
Yeah,
add
World
in
War II, he had horrible internet.
you add an Envoy who's just like a really solid search player. He just makes really smart plays, and then
Yeah.
Dashi is just a freak. in terms of the gun skill. But I don't know. Like Dallas,
I kind of actually want to say that Optic has the advantage in search in the future because if when these smokes get fixed and you get a sniper back, you give the sniper advantage to Optic over Dallas because you have Dashy
Oh, really?
and Formal.
yeah, but I don't think we saw Shotzi run a snipe as much um
To elite
in
No, Illy
level.
ran the
MW.
snipe for
Yeah, in MW we didn't
Dallas.
see Shotzi run the snipe at all. But I think like y'all sleeping on Shotzi with the snipe, man. It's kind of like
Yeah, how do you use it in Halo? Was he good with it?
he,
You know Halo better than us.
yeah, he was in 2018. Shotzi was the best player, or arguably the best player in the game. Um, it was just crazy. Like the movement was insane. Um, I don't know. Like he was just built different. Like breaking the game. I remember there's like this crazy like triple kill he got where he like sniped two and then like shot a grenade that was on the floor, which was kind of insane. But yeah, I think Empire Chicago definitely top two teams in the game. You can kind of put it's tough to put one over the other without like seeing a matchup, but we'll get that in the future.
They said the smokes are getting fixed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that so I'm
the
gonna
next
have
update.
this. I don't. Yeah, it's not even biased that I'm putting Optic over Dallas, but I'm just putting them above Dallas because that like smoke fix, I feel like it's gonna give Optic the advantage in search.
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. All right, moving on. Paris Legion.
Probably C,
Uh,
but
I
they're probably
love
the best
Fire
C
and
tier team.
Scraps. I love Fire and Scraps. I don't want to put them here.
I actually think they're a B team. I think they're above
Um,
New York at the moment. They're between
I
Minnesota and between New York.
I actually agree. Yeah, I think B tier for me too, and above New York.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're my dark horse team that could definitely like make noise, but I think it's the thing about Paris. It might be just consistency issues. Is like how consistently do you think they can be a B tier team now?
Yeah,
I mean,
Because I think once New York figures out their roles, like New York's a better team than Paris,
I agree.
yeah.
and like same thing with Toronto. Like Toronto's a better team than Paris.
I forgot about Toronto. I'll be honest. I
They're the
wasn't
last
really
one.
thinking. I wasn't really thinking about them.
And like yeah, because like I have Toronto as a B tier team, and I don't want four teams in the B tier.
Or I guess that would be
Five.
five.
Yeah, that would be five.
Yeah, exactly. So I moved Paris down to the best C tier team.
Or maybe move New York down to. It's tough.
Yeah, I feel like there's not enough tiers. Because I feel like Thieves and Rocker should be in the B tier alone, and then Paris and New York should be in like C tier, and then LAG and Royal Ravens should be moved down to like D tier.
Oh, okay. So add like a D tier. Wait, let me. Can I do that? Am I able to add a tier?
Yeah, you click on the
Yeah, you should
settings
be.
button, that gear, and then you go add row
Add a row.
below.
Oh, there we go. D tier. So I think we move London. So Paris
When
and
did LAG down?
yeah, Paris and New York are gonna be that C tier.
Yeah, I feel like New York and Paris in the C tier. I would actually keep the LA Gorillas in the C tier too, because that team, like, Assault and Apathy can, like, go
I don't
off,
think
bro.
LAG's better than London though.
I actually that's tough. That's tough.
So tough, bro. LA.
Especially from LA, I just don't think.
Let's get these last two teams and then we can talk about it a little bit more. Seattle F tier. And
Yeah,
I think I'm
we don't
kind of
need to talk about it.
maybe I'm biased. I just don't like Octane. But that team has no chemistry. No main SMG Slayer. I think the vibes are already chalked, which is kind of sad to
Yeah, they
say.
rage quit scrims the other day against Chicago after blowing a 130-point lead on Crossroads.
Yeah, I honestly think there like something has to change. Like you have to get rid of Octane. Like I'm sorry, but like you can't have both Octane, Gunless, and Looney on the same team. Like it just doesn't work. Like it won't.
I
Momo
don't think
thoughts?
Octane's the issue. I think it's the subs. Momo?
Yes.
What are your thoughts, Seattle?
Oh, I actually want to put them in C. I think they're pretty good.
Wait, are you trolling?
No, like just the talent. I feel like they'll get better over time. Like it just feels so wrong putting Octane and Gunless in D
Yo, but
or
we
F.
said that we said that we said that last year too. We said, yo,
But
there's
they
no, you have
they don't
Octane,
look good at
Karma, and
all.
Apathy. There's no way they're gonna be in. Like everyone said that, and then they just crashed and burned. They don't look good.
This is by far the worst team in the league right
But
now.
like I just don't see them losing to London.
No, I see them.
You do.
I see them easily losing to
They're getting
London.
smoked by London.
Ah. Well, because of like majority, you can put them in F, but I don't know. I just feel like I want to put them in C. I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe they will get better. Who knows? But like,
Like
They
Looney
lost
and
to
Gunless are
LAT.
smart, and then they also can put up like Octane and Gunless can put up good stats, and then Looney and Gunless are smart. So
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, but I don't know. Like that
They
hasn't really
lost to
paid off.
LAG and
They
they lost to LAG and they've been getting like consistently 100-point
they
clutch
won.
streak.
They beat LAG.
Oh
and
yeah, you're right.
then if you're talking about Pristini, like smokes are getting fixed, so you have a sniper back. If you give Pristini the sniper, he's gonna do dirty things. And this game, like the ARs look really good, and Pristini with an AR is really good. So I feel like that'll give him another boost. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but Gunless was running second AR though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel
I
like
don't think
they could switch around and
Gunless
I
can
still think
do
they're
that.
an F2 team. Like I don't know, nothing is gonna
Yeah.
change my mind. Like even yeah, smokes can get fixed or whatever, but I still don't think like yeah, Pristini will like it's like classic going to a Rampart, dude. Like classic like will get like a extra point 2 added to his KD. But in the long term it doesn't pan out. Same thing here. Like yeah, Pristini will do a little bit better, but at the end, like if you don't have like that basis, like that basic chemistry, I just don't think it's gonna work. Like I don't know, maybe this is just me, but I think like chemistry is like an intangible that like is definitely overlooked, especially in COD.
see if this card was 5v5, then I could maybe agree with F tier. But like just the talent, when you have like a lot of talent in a 4v4 card where there's not that many people on the map, I feel like these smart, talented players like Looney and Gunless, I feel like they could do something over time. I feel like after a month they'll
Yeah,
actually
but
be
this is
pretty
right
good.
now though.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
still
right
about
now.
Yeah.
right now. And right now
Mm,
they look like the worst team in the league just from the scrims that we've been
Mm,
doing with
yeah,
SPA and
yeah, I would agree with that.
if we're talking about right now, then I would actually put like I might move New York down to like D.
Well, I guess it's also in preparation for this next event.
Honestly, I just don't feel like putting anyone in D tier. I don't know. I feel like everyone. I feel like there's like two in S tier, two in A tier, two in B tier, and then everyone else is in C tier.
I
I
mean,
feel like no
I think we
one's
do.
that
I think
bad.
we need to make that distinction though.
Yeah,
All right, we'll
it's
talk a
hard.
little bit more about the order and we'll switch things up in a bit. But Toronto Ultra.
I have them in C.
C.
See, I think I have them between. I have them between Paris.
I have them as the best team in that tier.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think they're the best team after Rocker.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I can agree with that. I think like they can make the jump to B tier if we get more out of like methods and if we keep that consistency from Cammy and Vance.
Yeah, I mean Toronto's another team kind of similar to LA Thieves and Minnesota Rocker where if they're all clicking, they can crack that top 5, but as it stands, they're not a top 5 team.
Yeah, they don't have a leader like LA Thieves and Rocker, so I don't see them being as good as that. But yeah, that's why they can. And that Bell Fiber, oh, so
That is
good.
true. That is some
That Bell
crazy
Fiber, bro.
internet.
Yeah, that is crazy. It's actually so good.
Okay, so
Rookie this team will probably be trash on land.
just a quick rundown. S tier. I'm gonna say that the order doesn't really matter, but we have Empire and Optic in S
Yep.
tier. I think after S tier, like A onwards, like we can kind of figure out who's ahead of who. So A tier we have FaZe, then Mutineers, B the Thieves, then Rocker. C Ultra, Ultra, then Paris, then New York.
Yep.
E
Yeah.
London, then LAG, and then F Seattle.
That's exactly what I
London
thought.
over LAG? Really?
London over
No.
LA.
Especially with Hagi.
No.
Now that
No.
now that I think about it,
London's looked good in
but
scrims.
see, the only problem is LAG lost to Seattle, so you can't like put them.
They didn't. They beat them.
They did. Wait.
Yeah, it was 3-2 for LAG.
Oh, okay, you're right. Then for sure. Then I actually kind of agree with that. I actually kind of agree with that. Then.
And Apathy and Assault versus the guys on London. I don't think they.
But still, if you're and London's all playing from North Carolina, which is super far from LA. Like all London has to do is just veto the Vegas server, and they've instantly got an advantage because they're closer to any other server than Gorillas are.
Yeah, but I don't.
Actually,
I think even on bad servers,
know where
Assault
Hagi
and
is,
Apathy
but
absolutely
Hagi
have
is
their
better.
way with Alex and Shawnee. Like I'll be honest, Alex is kind of overrated.
No,
No.
Alex and Apathy are playing on 130 ping, and you know
I think Alex is
Alex
underrated.
and
I think
Dylan
he's
are.
insane.
You think so? You were the
Are
one who
playing
was
above him.
complaining about how like his hand issue and then him turning into a
Well,
burger
yeah, his
last
hand
year.
issue, but seems to be fine though now, right?
I mean, you
So I feel
said
like he's gonna be back to his.
I don't know. We were
regular
talking.
self.
We were talking about this in the group chat last year, and you were like, "Oh, maybe he was just faking it the entire time to like cover up for how ass he is."
No, because I'm a huge Alex fan. I think he's amazing.
Yeah,
I
but
I
I'm
even
putting
said
London
last
at
year that he
2.
might be like the greatest talent that came out of EU because who
You
slays
think
like
so?
him? Yeah, who
Bans?
slays like him?
Bans him
No,
in
what?
bans? At the
Nah.
moment, yes.
Like I'm talking like their whole careers they've been in COD. Who's been like the best slayer in EU?
Scraps.
Scraps or Alex?
Wuskins.
No one else is there.
Wuskins.
No.
Been really
He
good.
just
Oscar's just been on bad teams.
That's yeah,
But he's always
exactly.
put up
Like,
numbers.
dude, he was on fucking Unilad for like World War II. Like, who was on that team?
What team was he on?
that team was amazing. That
No,
team was
when they
insane.
remember when they split up, right? There was Red Reserve and there was Unilad. Remember, both
Yeah, Unilad was
Scraps
amazing.
and both Scraps and Wuskins were on Unilad. Then Scraps went to
No.
Red Reserve. Remember, and then Red
Well,
Reserve
yeah,
got
later,
really
yeah.
good, and then Unilad just became like a mid-tier team.
No, they were not mid tier.
I mean,
you
they
see
were-
what they did to Optic at Anaheim, bro.
Okay, yeah, but Optic was ass. They were literally
No,
ass in
Optic
World War
was
II.
really good. No, Optic was good.
They were choking
can-
events like crazy.
When they got methods, they were really good.
Yeah, but that's because Methods was also like arguably the best player in the game at that point of time.
Yeah, he was actually very amazing in World War II. But no, Unilad was good. They put up great matches against all of the teams in
Yeah,
World
but
War
they
II.
they could just never close anything out. I think they got like what, top 12 at champs?
I don't
I
remember,
don't
man.
remember.
I want to say. I don't remember either. That was a good champs though. I actually really enjoyed like that event, World War II champs.
I didn't. I thought it was the worst champs of all
But
time.
yeah, that's because you're
Watching after
because you're an
Optic
Optic fan.
I don't think so. It was just like,
World War II is just such a boring game, though.
yeah, and like Rise Nation got kicked out early. Like all the exciting teams got kicked out early. And then it made it so boring.
Didn't TK also do like kind of?
No, but then remember
They got second.
United made the run. That was pretty exciting. Like United was playing well.
I don't remember World War II at all.
I think
I've blocked that
United got
year
like
in my
top
memory.
4. They like played TK and lost.
Yeah, I think they got fourth. FaZe got third. TK got second.
FaZe.
Yeah, FaZe was
Yeah.
nasty that year.
They were pretty good at the end of the year.
Didn't
Year
make
with
any team changes, right? It was always replays, Zuma, Attach, and
Zuma
Krista.
attach and-
That was
Yeah.
their team the entire year, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's when Attach broke up the dynasty by running through an artillery.
Dude, so that was when I still was an Optic fan. That made me so mad. I was like, dude, how does
It
this?
was a hell of a play.
I don't know, but that artillery streak was also kind of busted. I'm not gonna lie, it was quite possibly the most inconsistent streak like ever.
Anyways, we're 3 years into the future now.
We are 3 years into the future, so I think this is pretty solid. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
Wait, so did we decide if we're gonna put LA Gorillas above Ravens?
Yeah, I think we put LG above.
Yeah, I
Oh,
feel like
I'm keeping them below London.
I just have more faith in NA talent.
I mean, I've always had. Maybe it's just me from
And
Halo,
I've
but
got
like
more
you,
faith in
you.
internet on an online league.
I mean, that is true. But like even in Halo, like EU talent has never like. I don't think a EU team has won a single like major.
And without Scraps and Wiskin, forget it.
Yeah, that's true.
But they got
I
Haggy,
I
though.
I. Dude, Haggy is washed. I'll be straight up.
Haggy's
Oh,
still
he's
gonna get
really
him a fight
good.
against no Haggy.
Aggie's really good, bro.
He's
His-
he's
Haggy's
washed.
got a body.
Is washed relative to like the
I don't think
emerging
so. His
new
IQ
talent.
is
Haggy's been dropping
still
like 1.2s in challenges,
no.
and he's going against crack kids.
He has not been dropping 1.2s, bro. That is
No,
crazy.
I'm pretty sure
He ha-
he's
he's-
been like
His
once.
stats are
Haggy's
mid, but
been
his
good, though,
IQ is
haven't
insane.
Yeah, he has a high IQ, but then with that high IQ, he brings like shitter gameplay and then like
Mm,
toxic vibes.
no, his gameplay is like really average now. It's not amazing and it's not horrible either.
Oh,
But it's just
so
his,
he's probably
yeah.
gotten better then.
But last year he had the best average placings in challengers, so he's still really good. He can help London, but I just fear for London slaying because if Alex Thumb is still like giving him problems, and if Dylan doesn't return to his old form, like there's too many question marks with Ravens, but with LA Gorillas, it's like it's apathy and assault. They're gonna do good no matter what connection
Yeah,
they're on.
they're always consistent. And then Silly is like kind of been under the radar for a bit. Like
He's a good leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like LAG's a complete team.
When they
And
get rid of
have NA
Vivid,
talent.
if they get rid of Vivid and pick up a better sub, like they'll definitely like move up a couple spots.
Yeah, I think they get even better as the year goes on. As the year goes on. But yeah, I
Maybe,
don't
dude.
under-
What if like I feel like maybe you get rid of Vivid for like Decimate or someone. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I feel like that would really make their team a lot better.
Decimate literally, I think, is Vivid, just a better version.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
a smarter
surprised
player.
that LAG didn't keep Decimate, to be honest.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I don't know why
Yeah.
they went with Vivid of all people.
I thought he
Same.
was the best player from last year.
Yeah, it was him
Yeah.
and Blast were making
Yeah,
plays.
Blast and Decimate. Were nasty.
They teamed for a bit in challengers. Maybe they still are. I actually don't know. I remember.
Blast is a Warzone streamer now.
Oh really? I remember Blast, Decimate, Neptune, and Aggie were a team, and then I was like in Travis's stream, just watching that team fall apart. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
y'all were
remember
there.
that.
That was actually the funniest shit. Like, it makes me.
Blast
It's
and
so
Haggy were just
bad.
going at each other every
but-
day.
It was such a mess. Like Neptune is just like on mute. He's not saying anything, and I just hear like the other three arguing. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
when Blast just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna become a Warzone streamer."
Yeah, and that's also like when Florida Neptune, dude. You love to see things.
Yep.
All right, so the last kind of part. This is a pretty long video already. It's like 1 hour. But
Yeah,
low-key,
it's
this
a
is-
long ass upload.
might be turning into like a podcast or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So
I mean, yeah, you have to now.
yeah, the last thing. The last thing.
The CDL podcast.
Yeah, the new CDL podcast, dude. I'm still kind of heated because like me and Momo were supposed to play like Nameless Pack and like Benson in like a draft buff tournament, and then like Pack just kind of dipped. He fucking like got scared. So
I won't.
You can call it the
force my opinion
AvoKasts.
on Pack.
the AvoKasts, that's actually not bad. I've been calling like
Yeah.
my like through the grapevine, but like that doesn't have like the same.
That's pretty good.
Avocados grow in vines.
Wait, grow what?
Do avocados grow on vines? I don't know.
No, they
No,
don't. They
no.
grow on trees.
Okay.
But like,
But vines grow from trees, don't they?
Yeah.
no, vines just vines just grow. Maybe I like AvoKasts. That's not
Well,
bad.
they like grow up trees.
AvoKast.
AvoKasts, yeah, that's not.
Yeah, you replace the DOS with ST.
Yeah,
Cast with a K.
yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad, Mama.
AvoKast.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so going through the schedule, dude, I'm just kind of mad because I can't watch the Thursday or Friday matches. I have work.
Didn't we already do predictions?
No, we didn't.
Oh wow.
No.
Okay.
It's a long video. It's a long video.
Yeah.
So
Let's do
Thursday,
this.
I think we mentioned Minnesota versus Thieves.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, this one's gonna be fun.
Best match of the tournament.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good match. Optic phase will be pretty interesting
Yeah.
too. Paris LG like will be kind of interesting as well.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
One eternity later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Also, where do I click for this document?
It's in the
I mean, we'll
Discord.
add more onto that later.
Oh right. Okay.
I'm just gonna draw it on this skip and snatch thing for now. So I'm gonna do green for me. I'll do orange for Bird. And I'll do red for Momo. Okay.
Good thing you used orange. That's my favorite color.
Yes, sir. I already knew from the Twitter profile
What color
picture.
did you use for me?
Ah,
Red.
yeah.
Oh god.
I said okay. I was just going off of Twitter. I'm green because I'm avocados.
Wait, Bird, your favorite color is orange?
Yeah.
Yo, we're close. Mine's yellow.
Do you want? Oh, do you want to be yellow, Momo?
I'm down.
Okay, bet. Okay, so first match. Let me move my webcam out of the way really quick. First match.
Yeah, let's try to do this in like 30 minutes. I gotta
Yeah,
watch a movie with my sister.
for sure. All right, first match: Minnesota Rocker versus LA Thieves.
Alright, what's the order we're going in?
I'll go last
You want to go first, and
'cause
then I'll go
I'm the
second, and
host.
He finishes off. Yeah.
You wanna go last out here?
Yeah, I'll go last.
Okay, Bird, you wanna go what?
I'll go second.
Okay. I'll go. I got LA 3-2.
LA 3-2.
Yeah, I got it.
I have Minnesota 3-2.
Oh,
Did
What?
you have a 3-1?
why'd you say that?
I just think Minnesota's better in the respawns, and um, the last map S&D is just a coin toss at that point, and Major Maniac's been grinding S&D right now, and so and Attach is a good S&D player, and so I just think Minnesota's going to clutch up into Game 5 S&D.
I actually agree with Momo here. I'm sorry, Bird.
It's okay.
Um,
My feelings aren't hurt.
Yeah, I just think like, dude, you have Slasher on that team. You're just gonna, I don't know, like it's gonna, like something will improve, and if it doesn't,
Yeah, that
then-
team is really talented, and then with a leader like Slasher, I don't think they're gonna lose to mid-tier teams. I think they're only gonna lose to top-tier teams like Atlanta and Chicago.
yeah, I agree.
We don't really have time to break it down though. If you've got to go.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
have like 30.
Seattle versus Dallas.
3-0.
Yeah,
Come
3-0.
on.
I think we're all pretty unanimous here.
Yeah.
With the 3-0. So I'm gonna mark it down, and y'all can start talking about Chicago versus Paris.
And this is probably not happening, but if you are watching Preston, sorry. Paris. Mm, 3-1.
Chicago.
3-1 Optic.
I'm going 3-0 Optic.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Optic. I think Paris can steal something. They're a good hard part team.
Yeah, maybe an S&D.
They're not stealing hardpoint off Optic.
Maybe one. Who knows?
Unless they play Crossroads, but
I mean, you never know.
That's getting vetoed by us automatically.
Yeah.
We're not playing Crossroads.
yeah, I don't see Paris beating Optic in any hardpoint ever. Search might be close.
Yeah,
and then
that's
I
what
think
I'm.
Optic's
That's
the
what I'm
better
thinking.
control team.
I'm thinking game 2.
Game 2.
So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm taking a 3-0.
All right. FaZe LAG. FaZe LAG.
3-0. I think I'll say 3-0. Faith.
I'll go 3-1.
I'll go 3-1 with you, Bird, this time. I think like I don't know. There's something funky with FaZe right now, and I don't know. I think like if it's persisted like across seasons, I think it's still gonna be there. Next time, aka this weekend or next weekend,
Yeah, LAG might steal a hard point.
possibly. Yeah, yeah, they're not stealing control. Okay.
Wait, so where are you jotting down?
Oh, I'm doing it on this like, the snip and sketch thing, and then I will I'll upload it to like the Google Sheet and make it look actually nice later.
I see.
Okay, Paris Legion, LAG.
Ooh. You first, Mama.
Mm. If you have something in mind, go for it, because I'm gonna think a little bit.
I mean, I can give my answer right now. I think it's gonna be 3-2
I'll
Paris.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think I'll go 3-2 Paris.
yeah, I'll agree.
Too much agreeing. No hot takes up in here.
Mhm.
I didn't agree with the Minnesota LA Thieves.
Yeah, I know, but you still had. Oh wait, that's true.
And I didn't agree with Atlanta.
Yeah, but like you still had Atlanta
You still
winning.
have
It's
Atlanta
not like a
winning.
hot
Yeah.
take, like
Yeah, I
map
had
count. A hot take would be like, oh, Subliners beat Thieves on Saturday. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen though.
There might be a hot take coming.
Okay,
I don't have to.
Toronto, Florida.
Actually, there is a hot take coming.
Oh.
Not for this one though. Not for this one though. For this one, I got 3-1. 3-1. Yeah, I want to go 3-1.
3-1 Florida.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go 3-2 Florida.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Florida. I think Florida is just kind of nasty.
Wait, no, you know what? I take it back. I'm gonna go 3-2 Florida as well.
You think so,
Toronto's
dude?
Toronto's internet is really good, and they're also like a good team. So I'm just gonna go 3-2.
Okay, then let me change that to a 2.
Yeah, 3-2.
Wait, where's the fucking eraser? Okay, Wolves still said Florida wins, right?
Yeah, we all said Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. NYSL Thieves.
I got a 3-1 for LA.
Okay.
I don't know how New York's gonna look now that they've had practice, but I will go 3-1 Thieves as well.
Yeah, I also agree. 3-1 Thieves. Sorry, it's taking me a while to write these down. Okay, London, Seattle, or Seattle, London.
Alrighty, my hot take coming in.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Seattle 3-1.
Ooh.
Seattle 3-1. My hot take.
Wow.
Mhm.
And you know what, Momo? This is an even hotter take. I'll agree with you somewhat, but I'll say Seattle takes it 3-2. And you know, it's just the rule of COD. There has to be an upset somewhere in the weekend. I think this
Yeah.
is the upset.
Exactly.
But I think it's gonna be a 3-2. I don't think it's gonna be a 3-1.
No, see, I've got the hot take coming up, but I've got London 3-1.
Okay. He went with the power rankings.
I just think Seattle's just the worst team in the league.
You never know. We'll see come this event. Okay, Minnesota, Dallas. I think this is where Birds
3-1 Dallas.
3-1 Dallas. I think it's gonna be a 3-1 Dallas. Or no, 3-0 Dallas. I'll say that.
3-2
think-
Minnesota.
I knew this was the hot take.
Damn.
What's
I
the reasoning?
I like Minnesota.
Mm.
I think Minnesota's the only team in this group that's really going to challenge Dallas, but
Yeah, that's the only thing
But
so far that I
think that-
completely disagree with.
I think this is going to be Dallas's like only loss in the group because it'll be only their second match.
I
And I think
100.
Minnesota comes out with the heat and just 3-2.
with the
I
Yawa.
don't-
5.
And that's my thing. I don't think there's such thing as like pure heat with Minnesota. I feel like everyone on that team is inconsistent.
I agree with that, and
Except attached.
I also think there's no way in hell Dallas is losing to Minnesota. Dude, the talent
yeah.
is too like you have Shotzi going for a back-to-back MVP. He looks phenomenal.
Bro, and
Like-
their teamwork is just disgusting. Their teamwork is like, and they have the Dallas routers, bro. Like, no.
But see, I think Minnesota can hang in the hard points and the searches. I don't think they're hanging in the control, but I think they can hang in the hard points and the searches. And
Yeah,
all you
maybe.
gotta
I
do
mean,
is
I
just-
think maybe it'll
just
be
steal-
close, but I
steal a couple
don't think they're
maps off
gonna
Dallas.
steal. I don't think they're gonna steal, and the reason is because like there's always one player on Minnesota who's cold. Like even like in the Toronto series, right? Like accuracy wasn't playing that good, right? Like who knows? Next series is gonna be like Major Maniac or whatever. Like it literally could change. There's always
Yeah, I
someone who
agree.
isn't performing the way they usually is, and that little bit of like you can't have that inconsistency against a team like Dallas. They're just gonna punish you. Like they're way too good.
Exactly. And that's why some people are really high on Minnesota this year, but actually, Minnesota this year reminds me of New York last year. It's like the
No,
same
New York
team,
last year had
except
Temple in it.
worse. I feel like they're like New York last year, but worse.
I
Actually.
think it's New York, but better.
Yeah.
I think they're a little bit more consistent than New York last year, but not by much.
I feel like I don't know, cause the roles on that team, I just don't agree. And they're in, and I feel like they'll be.
Interesting.
And I don't know where they all are, like location.
Philly's in Texas, right?
I think so, yeah.
Well, Silly's on LAG, and he's
Wait,
out
no,
in LA.
Oh, my-
yeah, Silly's in LA with LA.
I'm pretty sure all of Minnesota's in Texas.
Where all of them are in Minnesota at that random facility that they had.
Yeah, I think all of Minnesota is in Texas.
Yeah,
That
'cause
shouldn't
then
be a problem.
when CDL tweeted out the locations of the teams, I'm pretty sure he said Minnesota was in.
Texas. Okay.
Actually, it's in the Discord chat. Let me just look real quick. Yeah, Rockers in Texas.
Okay.
Then
like,
I'll
connected
agree
not
that
gonna be a problem.
Minnesota is like the better version of New York from last year, but I still got Dallas 3-1 for sure.
Yeah,
Right
I
there,
have Dallas.
Minnesota
I have Dallas
3-2.
3. Yeah. Okay, and last but not least, your favorites: Optic Gaming versus Atlanta FaZe.
I got 3-2 Chicago.
Okay,
I have 3-1 Chicago.
3-1.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem too out there for me.
Yeah, I mean it's not unlikely.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with the 3-2 Chicago.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, that's
Wait, so did me and you have all the same predictions out here?
no.
No? Okay, good.
Maybe actually we might have. I think we definitely changed on map count.
Oh, no, because you have 3-0 Dallas, I have 3-1 Dallas.
I think yeah, you said 3-2 Florida Toronto. I said 3-1 Florida Toronto.
I definitely have the most different because I didn't agree with the London Seattle one or the
LA
LA Thieves
Rocker.
Minnesota one
Or the Minnesota.
or Minnesota Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, your predictions were really different from ours.
I
I'm the
don't.
reason why they come to the podcast because my predictions spice it up.
That is true.
I'm the content creator. I'm here for the memes.
I just noticed this, but I picked only 3 teams from the left side of this schedule.
Are all the right side teams in? Oh no, never mind. I thought it would be like organized by pool, but
No,
that's not the case.
but I only have 3 left side teams.
I just realized Florida and Toronto are only playing one match. Same with New York and yeah, New York, Toronto,
But
Florida.
that's because they have 3 weekends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why.
they've got.
So then the next weekend, Optic will only be playing 1 and Florida will be playing 2. So it'll balance out
Yeah.
over the 3 weeks. And then the major.
I wonder why they don't do more matches on the weekends. Like I don't like having only 3 matches per week.
That's what I'm
per day.
saying. 3 matches is fine Like, I just don't like the 2. Like 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. Why can't we just have 4 on Friday?
Yeah, or like do 4 on Sunday, 4 on Saturday, 3 on Friday. I think it's like a better split. There's how many matches? 2, 4. There's 10 matches, right? Just do like 2 or like 3, 3, 4.
3, 3,
Yeah,
4.
3,
Yeah.
3, 4. That's your Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Your Sunday has 4 matches because Sunday's supposed to be the biggest anyways.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause
Sunday needs to have 3 matches. Actually, no, because this isn't like an event.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the closest thing to one, other than like the majors, which I still kind of wish like it was the tournament format for these weekends.
I think I like
I
this.
don't know.
You think
But
you
I
like
just
it?
don't like the 2 matches. I
If they just
disagree with 2
compress the
matches.
schedule a little bit more to 3 days instead of 4 days. I
Yeah,
like this a lot
there's
better.
only
Yeah,
two.
that would
There's
be
only
better.
3 majors, right? There's major 1, major 2,
No,
and then
5.
champs. Oh, it's 5.
Yeah, I think there's 5
Yeah.
majors.
I thought there was only 3 for some reason. Okay, well that's gonna do it for this episode of AvoKasts.
Hey, let's go.
Momo, thank you for tuning in. Bird, thank you for your spicy predictions. I appreciate y'all.
And for the
No
title.
problem.
And for the title, yeah, Momo. shout out to Momo for giving the title inspiration. I might have to change like all my like esports related videos, like the analysis or whatever, to like AvoKast. That's pretty catchy, dude. All right.